As a senior leader, why have you chosen to make Christian higher education part of your ministry strategy?
Well, I was looking for an institution that we can partner with that was kind of in the same vein of our teaching, of our Christian community, of what we're trying to build here at Tabernacle of Praise and what we're trying to spread throughout this community. The great thing about our church is that we're in McDonough, but we also have 2 campuses, and we have one in Jonesboro and one in Griffin. So the whole South Metro area, that's where we're kind of really concentrating on. And so to be able to establish something that can be a blessing to the whole South Metro area, because it's my endeavor not only to bless Tabernacle of Praise, but also to partner with other churches that need something that they could train their leaders up. We need a lot of training in this day and time. And so when we have a lot of people that go to church but aren't trained, it kind of hinders us from really impacting the communities that are around us. And so not only has this institution helped us as far as building up our leadership community here at TOP, but I believe in days to come, it's going to be able to be a blessing to all the churches in this area. God has blessed us because our church is a big church and we have a lot of influence. And so I have a lot of pastors that I partner with. Plus, as a bishop, I cover 24 other pastors. And so I'm looking for this to be a springboard to be able to be a blessing to all these churches in this area. So I'm excited about it. And I love the way that they partner with us. They're not here to try to show us what to do. What are you doing so that we could come right alongside with you and make it become even more impactful? So I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. And I was just interviewing Minister Pat ahead of you, and she was telling me that she's talking with students out in California.
Yes.
And the students that not just the community where you can put your hands and feet.
Yes.
But you guys are impacting across the nation.
Yes.
At least it sounds like.
Yes.
And I told her, I said, I remember when you guys had your interest meeting, the young lady that said, I'm in Washington State. How's this work?
Yes.
And I remember thinking, wow, these guys are coast to coast.
Oh, yeah.
And hadn't even gotten started. That was just the interest meeting to see who was interested.
Yeah.
And I still remember I give Dr. Langley a hard time because he didn't get on that call. We found out there was a limit to Zoom.
Yeah.
And he didn't make it on the call. Me and Dr. Virginia got on, but he didn't make it. So, all right. So how has having an educated and equipped church changed the spiritual temperature of the culture or the culture of your community?
Oh, well, I believe the institution helps people to really find their purpose. When you come to God, and especially when you come into a church setting, most of the time on that Sunday morning, it's more inspirational, to be inspired to keep following Christ, to keep loving Christ. But then you need to understand, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And so I believe this institution really helps to define your purpose, because when you're educated about the word, when you're educated about how you are to live as a disciple of Christ, now you know how to convey your faith, you know how to share your faith, you know how to build your faith, and now you can spread that to everybody that's around you. And so that 30 to 40 minute sermon that we get on Sunday mornings, most of that is to inspire us and to help us to be what God has called us to be. But the institution educates you. You get to understand the purpose behind your call, the history of the word, what the word does, how it can impact your life. And so in all thy getting, get an understanding. And so why not have some more teaching so everybody can get an understanding of not only who they serve, but what they are supposed to do as they live out this life in the earth.
Yeah, and you're opening this up. This isn't just for your leaders. This is for anybody in your church. You're looking for anybody that'll latch on to the opportunity.
Oh, yes, yes. Because the leaders are focused on helping me build the church. But I need everybody in the church, to get a hold of their call. You have somebody that say, hey, I'm concentrated on marketplace. So my ministers, deacon, deaconess, all those here, they're serving within this local church to keep the church going. But there's a business person that says, hey, I'm in marketplace, but I love God and I want to find out what is my purpose in the marketplace. What am I supposed to do for my business? What am I supposed to do in this nonprofit sector? What am I supposed to do in education? I'm a teacher, I can't really take on a title position at the church, but I definitely want to take my Jesus to the place that I'm assigned to. So how can I do that in the education sector? How can I do that in the business sector? How can I do that in the entertainment sector? There's somebody that says, hey, I'm good with marketing. I'm good with media. I'm a singer. I'm an actor. How can I take my Jesus into those arenas? And so we know that's that 7 mountain teaching, of what mountain you're assigned to. And so I believe that this institution gives everybody now a purpose, not just those that serve in the church, but those that serve outside the church in our local communities.
Man, that is so awesome. So awesome to hear. So how do you personally champion this program to keep it a priority for those that you lead?
Well, I really push it from, the pulpit. I really tell people, hey, listen, this is our job as disciples of Christ to really go out into the world. Jesus said, go into the world and make disciples of me. So let's go out into the world. And the best way to do it is to get educated. You got to really understand what your purpose is. And the Bible says, when we don't have knowledge, we perish. And so when I get more people knowledgeable about who God is, what's their purpose in the kingdom, then it helps us to be able to impact the earth. So that's my thing now. How can I push our congregation to be more educated and become disciples of Christ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see the passion, just the way you're moving around. You're going to get up and jump up and down out of the camera shot here in a minute, probably.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm not careful. Okay, so how do you and your operational leaders, Minister Pat, for example, how do you communicate to ensure that your vision is consistently realized in the school?
Well, the great thing about this awesome institution is that they stay in constant contact with our operational staff and myself. And so we're able to keep talking, to keep sharing. We're even right now readjusting some things that we could be more effective within our church. And that's the great thing about this awesome institution, is because they don't mind trying new innovative ways of how we can get it done. Okay, maybe this is the way we've done it with all these ministries, but how can we do it special with you? So I like the way that we can adjust, that we can make new things happen, new things possible. So that way it could be a blessing here. And maybe this might be able to catapult a new way of doing education ministry to other churches that are kind of in the same vein we are. And so we talk a lot, we meet a lot, we share a lot. We say, hey, this is not really relevant to how we operate here at the church. Can we adjust this? Can we move this? Can we do something different? And the institution says, yes, let's do it. Let's see. We're open to new ideas. And I love that, because nothing is just set in stone. No, we want to find a way that we could partner with you to get the job done. So let's try new innovative ways. And that's been great.
Yeah. I love the challenge. That's also a lot of my day-to-day is, hey, we want to try something new. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. That's it.
That's my response a lot of times. I'm like, hey, let's take on a new adventure here.
Yeah.
And one of those is, I love that you guys are really jumping on the locally authorized teacher opportunity.
Yeah.
And looking to have, I think, about 10 different locally authorized teachers in your school.
Yeah.
And I was just sharing with one of your students, Mr. Shalithia, that I did an experiment last November, and I think it came out phenomenally. Another one of our partners, just in Macon, Georgia, about an hour or so south.
Yeah.
Last year, they had an opportunity. One of their locally authorized teachers, Dr. Vivian Porter, was teaching Holy Spirit 1.
Yeah.
She had been in Dr. Pickett's class.
Wow.
When Dr. Pickett was still with us.
Yeah.
And so she retaught the class, and then she honored her in such an amazing way. It was phenomenal. Like I said, this was just an experiment. I found out they were doing it, and so I ran over there to capture those lectures. And so what I did, I put them in the course.
Yeah.
So now everybody that sees Holy Spirit 1 can see Dr. Fuchsia Pickett's original lectures.
Wow.
And then right below that is a whole new set of, I called them bonus lectures, by a locally authorized teacher down there in Macon.
Wow.
So I mentioned that to Minister Pat too. I said, if you're locally authorized teachers, your LATs here in your school, that might be a possibility of doing that and sharing some, not alternate, but complementary content. And make that available to literally everybody that takes these courses. They wouldn't be required. But so I'm excited about the possibilities that might come out of that. I know she's got a lot of work ahead of her to be working all that out. So I know you're thankful for Minister Pat. I've talked to her. I've probably logged hours and hours with her by now on the phone and emails and stuff like that. She's apologetic. I know you're busy. Like, no, you have questions. I have answers. And you want to do something new? No, let's figure it out.
That's great.
So, all right. So I want to ask you this. Can you share a specific story of a student whose life or ministry was transformed that made you say, this is exactly why we do this?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to go with my Dean Pat. Because she's the one that kind of first started on this journey with me. She was leading the leadership courses here She actually was a student. So I led the leadership courses. And then she stood out at the top of the class. You know, she was getting all her work done early. And then she was helping other people in the class. You know, people were going to her, you know, getting her, you know, can you help me with this assignment? Help me with this?
I can see that.
Yeah, so I could just see that that anointing was on her. That gift was on her to lead and to teach. And I just told her, I said, you know what? You know, I really would like for us to start something here, you know, that we can now take what we've been taught and now share with others. And so she went on this journey with me. First, we started off with a Bible Institute just to kind of do it locally. And then after talking with Dr. Langley, he was like, listen, he was like, let's partner together. And he said, I have the material. We have the system. You don't need to start anything from the ground up. We could just adjust and come alongside with you. And so that was music to my ears, because if somebody's already doing something, let's partner together and get it done. And so to see Dean Pat now be able to excel from coming out of the student phase into the leadership phase, and now she's leading this whole organization. I saw the development of her through this institute, that the more classes she took, she became more confident in what the teachings were. I saw the development, the transformation of her from a student to a leader. And that's what I want to see with all the students that come up in our college now. They move from being a student to being a leader. And that's the transformation that I'm thankful with Dr. Langley, because there's an undercurrent under the institution of leadership, you know, that no matter what class you take, I could tell that there's a spirit of, we want you to lead. And I could see that happening with all our students.
Yeah. Well, from the outside looking in, Minister Pat is all over it.
Yes.
You probably know that, I imagine.
Yes.
She came in here with her responses typed out.
Oh, yes. That's her. That's her.
She said, can I have this with me? I said, absolutely. She wasn't reading it verbatim, but I said, you're the first person to come into an interview with response, you know, with your answers typed out as if you were turning it in for an assignment. So she is all over it. I love how.
And you know what this does? It gave her purpose, because she was one that was just kind of assisting me. But man, when we started integrating the Institute with the church, boy, I could tell the light was on. You know, and she was like, this is what I'm supposed to do, because she's retired and she's been asking, you know, the Lord, what am I supposed to do? I just don't want to sit around. Mm-hmm. You know, she was tired from being a nurse. And ever since, Lord, the light is on. Like, she's excited about getting up. I can show you emails of her just sending me emails throughout the night, you know, like, I just woke up with this, you know, just think about this. And so she's really excited. Now she's actually training the others now to be part of a leadership team here. So it's really great.
You mentioned a minute ago that you get 500 emails a day. So are 400 of those from ministry? Don't answer that on camera.
Right up
there. No, you can tell when somebody really loves something, because you just can't get in their way.
Yeah.
You're behind them.
Yes.
What's amazing as a leader is when somebody is taking charge of something and you actually see their back.
Yes.
Because they've run out ahead of you.
Yes.
You know, that's one thing that I love personally about my relationship with Dr. Langley, is he just lets me run wherever.
Yes.
He's actually, he told me, he said, if you ever hit a boundary that concerns me, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I've been a part of the team since 2017. I've yet to find a boundary.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, just like driving around in my RV, visiting schools and interviewing people. Yeah. You know, I just wanted to do that, so I just jumped a straddle of it.
That's
and
great.
He's just keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
That's it.
All right. For the schools that are just starting out and struggling to find momentum, what is the one non-negotiable mindset a visionary leader must have to succeed?
I would say whatever your vision is for the school and whatever your vision is for your people, let that be the one thing that really stands out in front of you. You have to look at your people and say, I want them to get to this space. And no matter what that costs, I got to get them here. You know, I already have that as a pastor, but in this space, now we have to make sure that whatever you're trying to do and whatever the institution is offering you, that you make sure that you make that merger work. And so that's been the thing for me. I knew where I wanted to get our people, but I needed to talk to Dr. Langley, show him, okay, I believe this is what's going to be the best way to get it done. And for him to be able to say, okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Let's see how we can do that. Because we've done it this way for a while, but we would love to see how we could do it to help you. So I had to keep this as I can't come down from this. This is where I need to get it, and this is how I see us getting it there. And so I didn't budge on that, but the great thing about Dr. Langley is he didn't budge on, we're here to partner with you, So he was like, if that's what you need, let's see how we could do it, Yeah. And so pastors, make sure that, it's your desire to get your people to a certain space in their walk with God, a certain place in their education journey. What do you want? What do you want your congregation to look like? What do you want your leadership to look like? And let that be the thing that you really hold as the standard, because don't come down from that. Because if you come down from that, then you coming into this relationship with the Institute is damaged, because now you're not thinking of your people. You're not thinking of where you want them to be.
So would you say it's the outcome, the destination, the goal has to be non-negotiable?
Yes.
We must get from point A to point B. Now, we don't know how necessarily every step.
Yes.
We don't know how many steps.
Yeah.
We don't, we're at point A, we've got to get to point Z.
Yeah.
And let's figure out how to get between it. But you have to always stay focused on that final outcome, that final destination that you're going.
Yeah.
The ultimate vision.
Ultimate goal. And Dr. Langley was good because he would tell me, he said, okay, what do you see? Like, what do you want it to be? We can help you get there, but you tell me what you want. And that's when I told him, I said, well, listen, this is what I see. This is what I need. He's like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's strategize about it. Let's meet about it. I think we did about 3 or 4 different Zoom calls. I did several personal calls just to talk to him, just about, what I'm seeing and how we could do it. And so it was never, well, I don't think this is the right institution to help you get it done. It was always, okay, let's see how we could get there. And that's the great thing I like about it, because some institutions be like, oh, well, maybe you need to try another because this is the way we've done it. No, Dr. Laney was always, okay, how can we partner with you to get it done? So that's what I like about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how do you strategically use your school as a leadership incubator of sorts to identify and prepare the next generation of staff and volunteers?
So what we do is we look at all the classes that are offered, and we look at them and say, okay, based off of what we want to see with our leadership and with our community here are the classes we want to narrow down. So our Dean Pat, we talked about what classes we would like to offer. And then of course, Dean Pat talked with your staff about how we could get that done. And so we review certain classes that we feel like are relevant to what the vision is, what we're trying to get people to understand and get to where they are. So each pastor, you really need to know what you want to be taught, because the great thing about this institution is they teach on everything. So you get the chance to pick which ones you feel like are relevant and make your own track that's more cohesive, with the vision that the church is moving in.
Yeah, and I know Minister Pat had shared with me that she has been in conversations a lot with our academic dean, Dr. Virginia Cornett.
Yes.
And that's probably where a lot of that was, where you guys were comparing notes with her. She has extensive knowledge and experience. You'll actually find her in a few lecture videos. I don't know where they are, but I know that she's in some of them.
Yes.
So anytime you're watching a lecture, you be keeping an eye out for Dr. Cornett somewhere in there. So now that kind of leads actually into this last question. If you were to curate a core leadership track, which really the question is, you've done that, using those courses from CLSTG in your partnership. So I'll just ask, I'll change the question to this. How does that theological training offload the heavy lifting and better align your team with the house vision?
Oh, it takes a bunch of pressure off of me, because when you're preparing a message on Sunday, you are thinking about what kind of things do I need to put in this message, not only to inspire people, but to educate people. But when you got half of your congregation that's already getting that teaching throughout the week, through the institution, then you can now shift your message to other things that you really, say for instance, I don't have to give a history of something because the congregation is already getting that education. so I could shift more to practical things, how this word, how this teaching could help you in practical ways with your marriage, with your children, with your job, with personal struggles. But the history of the Old Testament is already being taught. The history of the New Testament has already been taught. The relevancy of the Holy Spirit is already being taught. All those things that are already being taught. Your response, the response from the congregation is so powerful because they already know those things, and so it takes a lot of heavy lifting off of me, knowing that I have an institution in place that, hey, if you want to get more understanding about the book of Matthew, feel free to take a course here, but for the sake of time, I want to move to this.
There's your homework assignment.
That's your homework assignment for all of you all that want to know the history of where this teaching come from, the history behind it. Feel free to take this course. And it's actually kind of like a marketing, a way of me marketing the school. If you want more information about this, and maybe you say, hey, I would love to dive into this teaching a little bit more. Guess what? We have a lesson on that right through our own Bible college. Feel free to take that.
Yeah. You sound unapologetic about that too when you're on the platform, I bet.
Oh yeah. Because that the attention span of our people is getting shorter and shorter with technology, with social media. When I was coming up, a preacher could preach a whole hour, and everybody just be locked in. But now, boy, everybody's looking at the clock. They got stuff to do. And so I know I have a good 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, but I know I got a good 30 minutes to really impact them. And so why not pack that with things that I know they could use throughout that week? Now, if you want to get more teaching about this or get more understanding about this, we have an institution here that you could take more courses at your own time. That's another thing I like about it. At your own leisure, at your own time, on your own schedule, and get more understanding about it. So it's great for it.
I love to end any conversation with asking the person, what didn't I ask? So in other words, the question is, what would you want to say or share that would be a great impact to anybody that might see this video later that I didn't ask?
I believe Christian education is the missing piece of discipleship in every church. I believe that we're so focused on Sundays that we're not focused on people's life day to day. And Christian education gives people insight into the word, into the scriptures, into their walk with God on a day-to-day basis. The way this institution has worked well for us is because of the online presentation. We know now people could take classes at their own schedule. They could grow in their walk with Christ on a day-to-day basis. So I would want to encourage every leader, every pastor to really invest in Christian education because we perish because of a lack of knowledge. And unfortunately, in this day and time, our churches are becoming irrelevant. People are saying, I don't feel like going to church. I don't want to go to church because we're not making it relevant to them. Why not bring in an institution that can add value to your church, add value to your community, where people can see Jesus not just on Sunday morning, but they can see Jesus all throughout the week. And so I would really want to say a message to Christian leaders, really make an investment in Christian education, invest in your children, invest in our teenagers, but invest in adults. They need more than Sunday morning. And institutions like this help us to give them more than a Sunday morning message.